warm good morning to one and all. I take this privilege to welcome you all on behalf of University College of Law, Telangana University for today's event, that is International Colloquium on Interdisciplinary Education System in UK and India, Opportunities and Obstacles. A warm welcome to today's resource person, Mr. Sheshendra Shesha Bhattar, Counselor and Funded School, UK. Welcome you, sir, for accepting our invitation and coming over here from there. And I would like to speak few words on this occasion, that if we look back into the history of the legal education in India, the concept of the law prevailed in Vedic period was a concept of dharma, and the king was considered as the savior of the justice. If we look today, lot of changes have been brought, and in this traveling, the Indian universities playing vital role in developing the legal education system. But till today, what the advocates are considered as a jack of all but master of none. So, but I feel with the new system of education policy with interdisciplinary approach, the cater the needs of the present society with new approaches like clinical education, legal aid, legal workshops, survey methods, legal writing skills. All this should be have a multidisciplinary approach to ensure legal professionals are equipped with the knowledge of the overall marketplace to enable them to service in the globalizing world. So with this, I would like to thank our today's convener for organizing this program and welcome you all once again for this today's event. Thank you.
It was residential schooling system dating back to around 5000 BC, where Shishya and Guru used to reside in the Guru's ashram, that is in Gurukul, which will give close proximity. This allowed for emotional bond to be developed prior to the transmission of knowledge. That made the communication was ancient. In ancient Gurukuls, communication mode is Sanskrit, but the emphasis was on developing students' human values such as self-reliance, right behavior, empathy, creativity, and to plus strong moral and ethical behavior. The aim of the education was that knowledge could later be practically implemented to find solutions to the real problems. That is the main object of any education. We must be enriched with our knowledge to resolve the problems, whatever may be. At present, we are seeing for small reasons students are committing suicides. That is not a correct thing. Why? Because we are losing our value-oriented education. We are losing our self-reliance. That has to be, that has to be given at the school level to high school level. Even not only high school level, higher education level. Recently, we saw the medico suicide case. It is not providing self-confidence. That should be the main motto of any education system. As per 2020 statistics, 26% of Indian population, that is 1.39 billion, falls into the 14 years category, which provides a great opportunity for primary education. And 18% of population, that is approximately 500 million people, that are in between 15 to 24 years category, allowing for growth in secondary education and in higher education. The statistics also reveals that 69.3% adults educated, and out of that 78.8 are male literates and 59.3 are female literates. So highest literary rate in Kerala, 96.2. So the main aim of future education in India is, that is in April 2021, India joined in the UN E9 initiative, whose purpose is to create an initiative on digital learning. Because of the COVID, we are all accustomed to learn through digital era also. Targeting marginalized children and youth, especially girls. According to the Union Budget 21-22, the Indian government allocated an expenditure budget of $5.28 billion for higher education and $7.56 billion for school education. So by 2030, it is estimated that Indian higher education system will have more than 20 universities among the global top 200 universities. At present, we are nowhere in top 100 universities. But through NGP, that is the aim of our central government to bring our universities in top 200 universities. It is also thought that it will be among the top 5 countries in the world in terms of research and output with a strong research and development. The money allotted for that is 140 billion US dollars. So in July 2020, the Union Cabinet approved our new educational policy, that is NGP 2020, implemented fully by 2040. That is the main target. Okay, so the main objective of this new education policy, which is concerned to our higher education, is to become multidisciplinary. The policy proposes that all universities and colleges aim to become multidisciplinary by 2040. Okay, and this will allow students to make their own subject combination based on their skill set and in terms of different areas. Interdisciplinary itself implies that whatever subject the student is interested, he must be given an option to enrich knowledge in that particular subject. Okay, with this context, I coined the title. Now I request our Chairperson BOS Jetling Ellosa Garu to give his address on UK and India relations and present scenario. Thank you. City. He is currently serving as an elected councillor for Metropolitan Borough Council UK. He has been an entrepreneur in IT consulting services based in the UK. He is a parent governor for state-funded school in Sohilul, UK. He is also an active volunteer. Together, they care for our environment. He belongs to the teachers' family. His father, S.B. Appalacharya, was technical teacher, principal ITI Sangareddy, retired. His mother was Indira Kumari, was headmistress, ZPHS for girls, Medchel. His sister, S.B. Radhika, runs Ragaravali Fine Arts School at Tanduku. He blessed with 3 children and they are pursuing their primary education in government, medico. So no other person is better than him. Why? Because his family consists of different. He was born in 1982 in Nalgonda district, Telangana. Did school education in Telugu medium, followed by intermediate in Nalgonda Junior College, then moved to Hyderabad to completing bachelor's degree and attained 1 year experience and got an opportunity to do MBA in party named Green Party. Green Party leaders have seen his contributions into the community and approached him to welcome into their party and offered him to stand as their local councillor for Sohilul Metropolitan Borough, and he has been elected. I proudly say that. Yeah. He was successfully elected as a councillor for Sohilul Metropolitan Borough Council in 2021, and currently the Green Party has also finalized his name to their Member of Parliament candidate for the next UK general elections. So with this brief introduction, I welcome our resource person Sheshendra Sheshbhatta to please give his knowledge, to share his experiences, the comparison between Indian education system and UK education system, particularly interdisciplinary educational system in the light of new educational policy. Thank you for taking a maximum pain from coming to Hyderabad to our Dichpalli Rural University, that too. No, I know you are very much fond of our students. Why? Because they belong to Telangana University. So thank you very much. I request you to please give your lecture. Thank you.